What did it start over?
I didn't even get to the bottom of it. All I know is this. When I got in there, Mike told me, he said, do me a favor. I'm going to leave these niggas alone. You help my friend Cannabis. And that's how I met Cannabis. That was the swap. Word to my mother. He was so upset. He said, well, then help my man Cannabis. And I was like, I don't have a problem with that. I'll help him. So I brought Cannabis with me to Orange County. I was with the UFC shit. And Cannabis stayed out there with me, and we was with him building his shit back up. Because Mike Tyson, and he left Flo Rida and them alone.
Hold on, was this after the LL situation?
Yeah, this is after it. This was the comparative damage. This was like damage control. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But my whole thing with these guys, which I never understood, I thought about this later, because I talked to my mother about this, and she said, he's Jamaican, right? I said, yeah. She said, he's Bayesian. And I was like, okay, cool. But L figured it out too. L backpedaled on it too. He was like, his ego was too at that time. It's understandable.
I don't think I've heard where he said that.
Yeah, that's what he else said. He said
his ego at the time
was too, like, he was a savage. He couldn't handle it. If he might on, he just couldn't handle it. But
I can see that, because being who L was when he came on the scene, not to say in it, say that he was Cannabis, but prior to, if you think about how Cannabis came on the scene, now how he was revered, how he's looked at, how he was the guy that was killing everything, it was probably reminiscent, and people might have felt like there was a
but you know what I noticed about Cannabis? Very intelligent dude. Loves hip hop, but he's not from our community.
Right.
So a lot of shit he didn't understand, he would fall in. He didn't understand. He didn't come from British Walkers, Playboys, Pleats, mock necks. He doesn't know the culture like that.
Right.
He's from Jamaica.
Right.
So he pitfalls into things he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that when I got around him. I was like, wait, he wasn't like it was me and Reggie in the room. He doesn't understand certain things, but very articulate and very meticulously smart.
Yeah, we had a great interview.
Because his grandmother was really on him too about, like, he was terrified of his grandmother. You know what I mean? And being somebody, So going to the army and all that was things that I would imagine he would have made her happy too, and that's what I mean about how they spin us. You know what I mean? How their culture spins us and how we're supposed to think.
I think sometimes we spin ourselves, especially in that L and Cannabis situation. I think that lyrically, you think it's a lyrical battle, but after you sell millions of records, it's never just a lyrical battle. And once you're part of a corporation who depends on making money off of your product, it's never just gonna be a lyrical battle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, had you got into it,
them two are good now, right?
Huh?
Them two are good now, though.
I've never seen any footage of L and Cannabis hugging nowhere, I think matter of fact, right across the street, Cannabis was like, "Yo, man, I just wanted a hug, man." That's what he said, right? And he wanted to be embraced by L, but L still had that battle spirit in him, and once it seemed like there was an issue between them, these corporations went to work on it. And then everyone in the industry, as fake as it is, motherfuckers started picking sides because they felt like they had to. So now it kind of spills out. It's no longer just a rap battle. It's no longer, I just want to hear what he says and I'll hear what he says in return. Now it's, I can't give you this beat because I'm cool with, I can't put you on this tour because I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? Like, or, it becomes more than what it is. So in a way, a lot of this drama, you think that it's just, it's just a little rap battle or whatever. Nah, that only happens in battle rap. That don't happen in the industry. It don't.
Nah.
Yeah.
But I just say this. I know at the end of the day, when I look at hip hop as a whole, I know there's room for all of these guys to coexist. You know, it's like the superheroes. Like when you look at Marvel, right? I don't revere Hulk more than I look at Iron Man. I look at all of them and I go, I'm in the room with superheroes.
Right.
And I know hip hop is that to these kids. And when they look at all of them, they're superheroes to them. And I think that culturally, you know, we can coexist and make, that should have been a WWF moment too. If I add, you know what I'm saying? You know, because you know what's sad about that? When someone loses and they can't eat and their art form suffers behind shit like that when it's entertainment.
It's supposed to be.
Right, no,
But
exactly. But it should be.
Right.
It really should be. Because that's what Ed McMahon did in wrestling. It was always entertainment with them.
But again.
And everybody went home a hero.
Right, but that's scripted. These guys are picking their own fights. They're picking their own fights. I don't think.
Yeah, this is not scripted.
Like Drake and Kendrick didn't come out of nowhere. That was happening.
But let me ask you this about that.
There was a buildup for years.
But didn't that happen? But didn't that happen too because he's light skinned and he's brown? Wasn't that a big part of it? Because that always shows up. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. It always shows up in our diaspora. The light skinned guy versus the dark skinned guy. Always. Yeah. Always.
The light skinned versus dark skinned guy?
It's always that. It's always that. To me, I always seen it. Willie Lynch letter, it comes to life every time. Every time you see it, it's like, oh, let me guess. He's dark skin. There he goes. And then there are people that,
light skin versus dark skin.
All the time. That's what I see. And you know, and that goes back to the slavery days. It's like they get, it goes back to slavery days because they thought the light skinned guy had it better. And they spun him like he had it better. Get out there, master said so and so, and then, you know, this thing goes on. You know, it's been going on for a long time. And that's what I mean about their culture spins our subculture.
Right.
You know, we look at what they do, and then we gotta be as ignorant as them. Because their ignorance is like, it's overwhelming. If you think about Southern culture, it's ignorance. You just look at the Hee Haw show. It's like, the buck dance was today's Crip Walk. Yeah. If you Google buck dance and you see the buck dance, you think the dude's Crip walking.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You said the buck dance.
B-U-C-K, dance. It's like the Crip walking. I said, oh, You see it?
Hold on. National championship buck dancing. Okay, all right.
But look at the two black dudes in the film. It's an old film. You see him stepping?
It look like tap dancing.
You see it? But you see what I'm talking about though? You see the first move? You see the leg?
Hold on.
Doing the Crip Walk.